the readings will now be given by Craig.
The Bible, Exodus. In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai, for they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount. And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which the Lord commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, All that the Lord hath spoken, we will do. And Moses returned the words of the people unto the Lord. Psalms. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day utter speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than the honey and the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward. Who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. Matthew. When Jesus came into the coast Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, Whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And they said, Some say thou art John the Baptist, some Elias, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. He saith unto them, But whom say ye that I am? And Simon Peter answered and said, Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus answered and said unto him, Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. I will now read correlative readings from Prose Works and Science and Health with Keys to Scriptures by Mary Baker Eddy. From the book Unity of Good, article Deep Things of God. Science reverses the evidence of the senses in theology on the same principle that it does in astronomy. Proper theology makes God tributary to man, coming at human call, whereas the reverse is true in science. Men must approach God reverently, doing their own work in obedience to divine law, if they would fulfill the intended harmony of being. The principle of music knows nothing of discord. God is harmony's selfhood. His universal laws, his unchangeableness, are not infringed in ethics any more than in music. To him, there is no moral inharmony, as we shall learn, proportionally as we gain the true understanding of deity. If God could be conscious of sin, his infinite power would straightway reduce the universe to chaos. If God has any knowledge, real knowledge of sin, sickness, and death, they must be eternal, since he is, and in the very fiber of his being, without beginning of years and end of days. If God knows that which is not permanent, it follows that he knows something which he must learn to unknow, for the benefit of our race. Such a view would bring us upon an outworn theological platform, which contains such planks as divine repentance and the belief that God must one day do his work over again because it was not at first done aright. Can it be seriously held by any thinker that long after God made the universe, earth, man, animals, plants, the sun, the moon, and, quote, the stars of also, end quote, he should so gain wisdom and power from past experience that he could vastly improve upon his own previous work? As Burgess, the boat builder, remedies in The Volunteer the shortcomings of the Puritans model. Christians are commanded to grow in grace. Was it necessary for God to grow in grace, that he might rectify his spiritual universe? As God is mind, if mind is familiar with evil, all cannot be good therein. Our infinite model will be taken away. What is in eternal mind must be reflected in man, mind's image. How then can man escape or hope to escape from a knowledge which is everlasting in his Creator? God never said that man would become better by learning to distinguish evil from good, but the contrary, that by this knowledge, by man's first disobedience, came, quote, death into the world, and all our woe, end quote. Quote, shall mortal man be more just than God? Asked the poet patriarch. May men rid themselves of an incubus which God never can throw off? Do mortals know more than God, that they may declare him absolutely cognizant of sin? God created all things and pronounced them good. Was evil among these good things? Man is God's child and image. If God knows evil, so must man, or the likeness is incomplete, the image marred. If man must be destroyed by the knowledge of evil, then his destruction comes through the very knowledge caught from God. And the creature is punished for his likeness to his Creator. God is commonly called the sinless and man the sinful. But if the thought of sin could be possible in deity, would deity then be sinless? Would God not of necessity take precedence as the infinite sinner, and human sin become only an echo of the divine? Such vagaries are to be found in heathen religious history. There are, or have been, devotees who worship not the good deity, who will not harm them, but the bad deity, who seeks to do them mischief, and whom, therefore, they wish to bribe with prayers into quiescence, or as a criminal appeases with a money bag, the venal officer. Surely this is no Christian worship. In Christianity, man bows to the infinite perfection which he is bidden to imitate. In truth, such terms as divine sin and infinite sinner are unheard of contradictions, absurdities. But would they be sheer nonsense if God has or can have a real knowledge of sin? From Science and Health, with Created Scriptures by Mary Baker Eddy. Matter is the primitive belief of mortal mind, because this so-called mind has no cognizance of spirit. To mortal mind, matter is substantial, and evil is real. The so-called senses of mortals are material. Hence, the so-called life of mortals is dependent on matter. In science, man is the offspring of spirit. The beautiful, good, and pure constitute his ancestry. His origin is not like that of mortals in brute instinct, nor does he pass through material conditions prior to reaching intelligence. Spirit is his primitive and ultimate source of being. God is his Father, and life is the law of his being.